When I first started learning guitar, one of my favorite things was chord progressions. And the reason why that was is because when I, was starting to learn chords, I was just starting out, and it was okay trying to work on a new chord, and then you'd strum something or you'd pick something, but nothing would really sound musical to me. It just kind of sounded like I was just trying to do some things on the guitar. But as soon as I started playing chord progressions, that's when it became alive for me. I was able to kind of hear it as music. Everything that I was learning, I could now apply it, and it could actually start sounding like music. So what we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to work on a chord progression, which a chord progression is really just taking the key of the song, and within a key, there are certain chords that can be played within that key. There are exceptions to that rule. We'll get into more of that in our theory lessons, but really what we're doing is we're taking a key, the key of the song, and then adding some chords that go along with that key. So in this particular example, we're going to be in the key of A, and we're going to play not just the A chord, but we're going to play the E chord and the D chord, and that will be our chord progression. So it goes like this. So in terms of the rhythm pattern, I'll leave that up to you as to how you want to do it, depending on what pattern you're on and what one you're working on. If you're just doing down strums and not doing any up strums yet, you could just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you're working on a different rhythm pattern, you can use that for these chords. But essentially all we're doing is we're taking a few chords, putting them together so that it sounds musical, that it sounds like a song, and that as you're practicing chords and as you're practicing strumming, you're playing something that sounds musical. And that's why songs are fun to work on, because it actually sounds like music. It sounds like a song, and it's encouraging when you hear something that doesn't just sound like blah. It actually sounds like music to your ears. So that's the chord progression that we're going to work on. You'll see in the download chart, we've just got A, E, D, and then back to A. Now let me show you something. When you are changing chords and doing progressions like this, sometimes there are strings or notes that you can use going from one chord to another that can be like anchors, so that you don't have to take all your fingers off and then start all over. So look for those where certain places where you might be able to keep the same finger on. Going from the A to the E, you'll have to lift all of your fingers. But going from the E to the D, instead of taking all your fingers off and starting from scratch, use something like an anchor that you can use to allow you to go to the chord faster. So going from the E to the D, you can actually use your first finger, because it's going to be on the string that you're going to be going to anyway. So you're actually just moving from the first fret to the second fret when you're going from the E to the D, where you can just kind of slide it over. Sometimes it just helps you get to a chord faster when you already have one of the notes is already in place, or you're already on one of the strings and you just have to slide it to a different fret. Use that to your advantage. Okay, have fun, and we'll see you in the next lesson.